Harper Audio presents The Brontë Plot by Katherine Reay, read by Kirman. Did you ever know a lover of books that with all his first editions and signed copies had lost the power to read them? C.S. Lewis, The Great Divorce. Chapter 1. Wednesday was book day. With so many other demands, Lucy felt it important to pick a day, name it, and savour it. By plopping it in the centre of the week, she secured a shining moment to anticipate at the week's front end and a delicious one to revisit at the back. And in so doing, she could endure the mercurial whims and incessant demands of her clientele any day of the week. Book day always began with the twist of the old key in the lock, the street still quiet, despite being located in the centre of Chicago's Old Town, and a hip check through the door that read Sid McKenna Antiques and Design. First, Lucy would touch base with her favourite online booksellers, monitor the current auctions and place bids, keeping a keen eye on special requests or tempting offerings clients might find irresistible. After, she'd open the mahogany corner cabinet first, the 19th century break front second, and rub Fredelka formula into her beloved book's soft leather covers, dust their gold-tipped edges with a worn linen rag, and gently separate any pages humidity had fused, and, if there was time, she'd relish a passage or two. This Wednesday, Lucy silenced the shop's alarm and leaned against the door jamb. She let her eyes roam, as it was one of the first mornings in which the sun beat her to work. Sid's gallery always brought a smile of satisfaction, one of complacency, as if the space was her own and not another's. But that thought never took root because she could never imagine possessing Sid's brilliance. Sid McKenna married substance with style, from the deep red lacquered door mounted on the far wall next to the Louis XIV end table to the black and white monographs of unknown artists stacked on its top, and those resting beneath a carelessly laid Mont Blanc pen. Sid threw down a disparate but symbiotic alchemy of beauty with every flick of his wrist, and this mix of old and new with the something unexpected had firmly established him as Chicago's premier interior designer. Lucy closed her eyes and absorbed the shop's scents. Underneath the jasmine, she caught the tang of the polish she applied to the furniture every other day, buffing each piece until it felt velvety and gleamed. She also caught the musty scent of ink on paper within the books stacked for sale, on their sides so as not to warp their fragile spines. And dancing beneath it all, she caught a hint of fresh pine from her favourite organic floor cleaner, the one she found at a one-man shop in Vermont. She glanced to the corner, the books. Lucy opened her bag and pulled out her latest acquisition. While it wasn't a particularly fine find, of no distinction and without provenance, the novel was one of her favourites, and it wouldn't take much to make it something special. A good inscription always helped. A story behind the story. The generational passing from hand to hand always added interest and a few dollars. She turned the pages, absorbing snippets. An unbroken hush, a demoniac laugh, low, suppressed and deep, or a man growing quite savage in his disappointment. As she carried it to the right front corner of the gallery and opened the cabinet's glass case, delicious. "Welcome home," she whispered. She held it to her nose and inhaled the leather, dust, ink, and history in a single whiff before placing it on its side atop two others. All the sisters together again. Lucy stepped away as a soft "Good morning" drifted across the room. Sid McKenna leaned on the workroom door jamb. "I tried to say that gently." "You're not supposed to be here," Lucy moaned. "What happened to my quiet book day?" Sid chuckled and held up both hands. "I know, trespassing on sacred ground and all that, but I have a meeting this morning, and I need the Benson drawings. I'll be out of your hair in a moment." He turned back into the workroom and grabbed things at random. At 6'2" and lithe, Sid exuded an energy that, although 20 years younger, Lucy only dreamed of possessing. His brain and body moved like a kaleidoscope, myriad direct.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?